Hello again, and today it's time for the monthly sales breakdown of the best-selling albums in the world for the month of January. Welcome back, and today we'll be listing the 10 best-selling albums globally for the month of January 2019. And if you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe and turn on notifications, especially if you're a fan of hip-hop and Eminem. We'll also be giving out extra information about album sales for albums that failed to make the top 10 in sales at the end of the video, so be sure to stick around. At number 10 is the album that had the largest opening based on equivalent sales last year, Drake's double album Scorpion, that opened with first week sales of over 900,000. In January 2019, Scorpion also did great numbers fueled by music streams and sold 295,000 equivalent album units worldwide. Don't Mess Up My Tempo by South Korean Chinese boy band EXO released in November 2018 and was one of the biggest albums to release outside the United States, only topped by the efforts from BTS, and also sold an additional 301,000 equivalent album units worldwide in January. 21 Savage has been in the news for a couple of things unrelated to his music career, and this news has overshadowed news about his latest album, which is bad timing for the British Savage. However, his latest project, I Am Greater Than I Was, is pulling some great numbers worldwide, with the majority of its sales from the United States. The album sold 305,000 equivalent album units worldwide in the month of January. A Boogie with the HOODE's latest album, HOODE Season, broke the record on the US albums chart as the first #1 album that recorded the lowest pure sales ever, with sales of 823 copies sold, which is mind-blowing. But thanks to streams, Boogie's career is not dead on arrival, and his latest album sold 327,000 equivalent album units worldwide in January. Post Malone's Beer Bongs and Bentleys, the best-selling single hip-hop album of 2018 based on equivalent sales, also makes the list for January with sales of 329,000 equivalent album units sold globally in January. This is fueled by music streams, but relatively speaking, its pure sales are quite respectable. DNA, the 2019 album from Backstreet Boys, is the band's 9th studio album, and with just 1 week of sales tracked, DNA makes the list of this month's bestsellers with sales of 373,000 equivalent album units sold worldwide. And this figure is fueled by pure sales, which is impressive in this age. You Make My Dawn, the 6th mini album of South Korean boy group 17, released on the 21st of January, and with just 1 week of sales tracking, secured its spot on this month's bestsellers list with sales of 392,000 equivalent album units sold globally. The overall best-selling album of 2018 based on pure sales, and even with equivalent sales, the soundtrack album for The Greatest Showman is truly a force to reckon with, as this 2017 album also made its mark in January 2019. The album sold an additional 416,000 equivalent album units worldwide. Another soundtrack album makes an appearance, and the soundtrack album for the 2018 Bohemian Rhapsody film was the second best-selling album of January with equivalent sales of 462,000 copies sold worldwide in January. At number 1 is also December's best-selling album of the month, the soundtrack album 4 Stars Burn by Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, that has enjoyed huge pure sales since its release, and the album sold an additional 526,000 equivalent album units in the month of January 2019. The top 3 albums were soundtrack albums, and these albums were also fueled by strong pure sales, which shows that consumers are still willing to purchase albums that they perceive to be worth their hard-earned money. Eminem's Kamikaze, the best-selling hip-hop album of 2018 and only hip-hop album to cross 500k pure sales in 2018, sold an additional 173,000 equivalent album units with a strong mix of pure sales and streams, and this is down from 197,000 sold in December 2018. Other albums that failed to make the top 10 include the following, and these figures are equivalent sales worldwide. The Wizard by Future with sales of 221,000 worldwide in January. Culture 2 by Migos with sales of 69,000 in January. Invasion of Privacy by Cardi B with sales of 165,000. Queen by Nicki Minaj with sales of 81,000. Skins by XXXTentacion with sales of 125,000. The Carter 5 by Lil Wayne with sales of 113,000. Astroworld by Travis Scott with sales of 269,000. Divide by Ed Sheeran with sales of 255,000. Thanks for watching, and if you like this content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications.